Okay, we're here with our Monday edition of the Tiger Preseason Camp Report with Coach Mark Sartain. Coming off the camp's first weekend, Coach, you guys practiced all weekend. Getting ready to go actually out into the pads tonight here on Monday for the first time. Talk about how you feel the team closed in terms of all you could get done in those shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, we did. We were able to put on shoulder pads with that for the last couple of practices, and of course that amplified the intensity a little bit. And of course last night was our first practice together with veterans and newcomers. It was a very lively practice under the lights last evening, and saw a lot of good things from a lot of kids. Got to do a lot of team function, team activity as well. Continue to evaluate these guys talent-wise. The freshman class continues to look to be very deep at just about every position, very talented at every position, and the old guys are picking up where they left off, and we're excited about that.
Something I think we probably need to mention at this point again. Everybody knows probably that you have two brand new coordinators. Coach Mike Pappas is the offensive coordinator this year. He was on staff last year, not exactly a new coach, but he's in a new role. Coach Pippen on defense coming in this year. Talk a little bit about those guys and kind of the adjustment the kids are having to make and the staff to the kids.
Well, of course, Mike basically slides into a spot that he's much more capable and comfortable than he coached last year. He coached quarterbacks for us last year. First year he'd done that exclusively. Moves back into the offensive line this year and coordinating the offense, a role he did for several years at Corsicana High School with several deep playoff teams and district championship teams there. And of course continued to coach his offensive line as a head coach at North Crowley when he won a state championship there. So Mike's depth of experience is in the offensive line, and a ton of experience as an offensive coordinator. So he's really in a more comfortable role than he was last year. And of course, the experience level goes up very, very high, even compared to Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant was still a young coach, and it was in his first year as a coordinator. Coach Pappas comes in with 12 or 15 years of coordinating experience and 12 years as a head coach. So we've helped ourselves there in experience. And then of course Coach Pippen joined our staff in the spring and got here just in time for spring ball. So we were able to implement his packages basically as they meshed with what we'd done in the past. The look you'll see this year on defense will be a little bit different than what we've been in the past. We'll still look familiar in some respects, but we'll be a little more multiple, a little bit, be able to change it up on people a little bit. Offensively, we should look much similar to what we did last year with just a couple of wrinkles, but philosophically, we're the same on offense that we have been. We're going to utilize, we're going to build the offensive scheme around the talents of the quarterback, the strengths of our quarterback, whichever one that may be. And both Seth and Seth are looking extremely comfortable so far through camp. They both do many things extremely well, but that's basically our offensive philosophy. We're going to be multiple and run the ball first. Doesn't always mean most, but it just means that's what we feel like we need to establish. But we'll spin the offensive scheme around the strengths of our quarterback. Defensively, it's going to be Coach Pippen's defense is named Chaos. That's what he calls it, and it's what he hopes to create for our opponents. And it's kind of lay your ears back and make things happen kind of defense. Kids love it. They're excited about it, and we just got to get more sound in the execution of our fundamentals and things of it, so that it continues to be an effective and sound scheme. But it'll be very aggressive, very high octane. People will enjoy watching our defense play.
You mentioned your quarterbacks. Obviously, that's become a strength on this year's team. Having two guys, not just one, but two guys who have played a lot of varsity football and started games and are now upperclassmen themselves. There's not a whole lot of teams that you will play that can say that have that kind of depth and experience at the quarterback position. Kind of talk about over the last couple 3 years how those two guys have kind of fed and played off of each other, and it really has become a pretty good quarterbacking duo, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, you know, they're both distinctly different in their skill sets. They can do several things in our offense similarly, but you know, of course, Ced is the more elusive, explosive player with his feet, with his legs. Is really continuing to make great progress down the field with his reads and his discipline in that regard. Seth is a tall, rangy, typical drop back type body with that skill set, but he's surprisingly elusive himself, or at least can escape and run and do some things and make plays that way as well. But he's more of a down the field technician to manipulate defenders and make reads and throw the football down the field. Both of them are exceptional leaders, exceptional young men. Both of them have the trust and the confidence of our football team, so it really wouldn't matter who was on the field. So we'll utilize the young man that gives us the best chance to win, and they understand that objective. You know, and there's, I think, pride has been set aside for the best interest of the team in their regard, and that's very mature and very encouraging from them. But very comfortable with both those young men, a junior and a senior. And it was 4 years into my stay here that we even had a returning player at quarterback. So it was only last year that we had, for the first time, a quarterback returning varsity that was a varsity quarterback the year before. So now we've got two returners that have both started games, both upperclassmen. So we're exceptionally excited about that.
Going out again, today's practice will be tonight, actually, under the lights at 7 o'clock, whenever it gets dark, I guess. But and it will be the first padded practice, which obviously takes the practice level intensity probably up a notch. What are you looking to see going into tonight as far as just intensity and you know, and I guess an overall excitement of getting to finally start hitting people?
Well, you know, like I said, we've had shoulder pads on. This will be the first full padded night, and we're very pleased with the intensity. We're very pleased with the tempo of our practices and just the excitement. We got an enthusiastic group, and you know what we hope to do over last night. Of course, we spend all night when we're in shorts and shoulder pads telling everybody to stay off the ground, stay off the ground. Well, that just, you know, it doesn't happen in football, and so at least tonight we won't have to worry about players getting knocked to the ground. And we'll be hoping to see the same level of intensity we've seen the last couple of practices with just shoulder pads, and then move forward in the execution of those skills and techniques and the intricacies of each scheme, because that's typically what happens. You teach, and then you start hitting, and things kind of go backwards a little bit technique-wise. And we hope to step back forward with that tonight.
Take a little review of that tomorrow when we meet again, Coach. Good luck, and we'll see you tonight.
Thanks.